Good day, everyone. We're from Group 9, and we're going to present on social media confessions, factors that influence the intention to confess on social media.
Good day, madam. My name is Tang Wei Chiang, entry number 286841. Social media has radically reshaped privacy norms, popularizing convention-like disclosure of intimate personal details abroad, collapsed audiences. However, this unrestricted online confession carry amplified privacy risks compared to traditional offline settings. By granting expansive invisible follower access, they override past norm governing sensitive sharing. Despite the prevalence and consequences of social media users revealing their deepest secret and private information publicly, limited research examines what motivates this phenomenon. This critical gap means we lack understanding of why users embrace such risks, overlooking how technology is reshaping disclosure decision. This study addresses this void by investigating the psychological, social, and technological factors driving intention to confess personal secret on social media. Identifying key motivators can empower users to make more informed sharing choices. It also guides platforms seeking policies that enable secure identity exploration. Ultimately, promoting healthy online spaces relies on updating our knowledge of the risks posed by fast evolving confession drawing technologies. Our first objective is to analyze the psychological, social, and technological factors that contribute to people's intention to confess or reveal private details about themselves on social media platforms. We will examine constructs like anonymity, social support, emotional release, audience composition, and privacy control to find out which factor motivates people to reveal personal information to large online audiences. Our second objective moves beyond analysis to quantify the influence of each significant factor we identify. By measuring the correlation strength between key factors and confession intention, we can determine the magnitude of effect for the main drivers of online disclosure behavior. This will definitely the most impactful motivators.
Today, I, Chen Seng, and my metric number is 289853, will be presenting our proposed hypothesis for study examining social media confession, factor that influence the intentions to confess on social media. And this is the diagram of our group for model or hypothesis, which have 5 hypotheses that our group has made. To begin, we drew on the concept of online disinhibition and proposed that perceived anonymity on social media platforms lead to greater intentions to confess or disclose sensitive information. An individual believes their identity is unknown, they may feel more inclined to share deep secret and sensitive details. This leads to our first hypothesis, which H1A perceived anonymity positively affect the intention to confess on social media. Next, we consider how perceived social support in the one online network can encourage confession-like disclosure. The ability to connect with similar others and receive validation could motivate people to express personal struggle or sensitive experience. Hence, our second hypothesis, H1B, perceived social support positively affect the intention to confess on social media. We also propose that the expectation of emotional release or catharsis from confessing could increase the intention to disclose on social media. Sharing deep emotion and secret may provide an outlet for relief or tension reduction. Thus, our third hypothesis, H1C, perceived emotional release positively affect the intention to confess on social media. Furthermore, we hypothesize that one perceived audience composition influence confession intention. More close friends and family versus distant acquaintance may increase willingness to develop sensitive details. Hence, H2A, perceived audience composition positively affect the intention to confess on social media. Finally, privacy concern and lack of control over information spread may deter confession intention on social media. Fear over unauthorized access or distribution of details lead to our last hypothesis, which H2B, perceived privacy concern negatively affect the intention to confess on social media. In summary, we propose 5 hypotheses related to anonymity, social support, catharsis, audience makeup, and privacy as our key factors shaping intention to confess personal details on social media platform. These studies aim to test this hypothesis through an online survey, which through the Google form. Thanks for the attention.
My name is Ooi Hui Yi, metric number 287982. Next, I will continue to present about the data collection procedure. The data collection procedure involves conducting a quantitative survey within the identified target population. The survey is administered through Google Forms, encompassing 3 main sections that respondents need to complete. Firstly, Section A of the questionnaire focuses on gathering demographic information. Moving on, Section B delves into the 5 identified factors influencing the intention to confess on social media, which including perceived anonymity, social support, emotional release, which is catharsis, audience compositions, and privacy concerns and control. Lastly, Section C collected information about the respondent's intention to confess on social media. In Section B and Section C, we utilize a 7-point Likert scale, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Respondents needed to indicate their level of agreement on a scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree for the statement presented. Next, for sampling method, our study used convenience sampling, which is a non-probability technique that's suitable for obtaining data from an easily accessible and available group. Our target population comprised undergraduate students from the University Udara Malaysia (UUM), and we included students from different colleges within UUM in our sampling frame. Given the constraint of time, the survey was implemented over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, and we successfully collected responses from a total of 50 students who were willing to complete the questionnaire using Google Form, which was conveniently delivered over WhatsApp. This approach allowed us to efficiently gather data within the specific time frame.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Lim Hui Qi and my metric number is 287499. I'll continue the presentation with the data analysis part. First, we are going into the reliability test. The internal consistency reliability of the multi-item measurement scales was evaluated using the Cronbach alpha coefficient. Tavako and Denick in 2011 stated in their paper on Cronbach alpha that alpha values between 0.7 and 0.95 indicate satisfactory to excellent internal consistency reliability, while Phil in 2013 advised in his book Discovering Statistics using IBM SPSS Statistics that corrected item total correlation exceeding 0.3 indicate the item were accessed as it correlates well with the other overall scale score. So the table presents the reliability analysis results. The intention to confess on social media ICSM scale demonstrate high internal consistency with a Cronbach alpha of 0.881. All 5 items showed strong corrected item total correlation between 0.515 and 0.781, indicating each item correlate highly with the overall ICSM construct. So now we are looking into the other construct for our research. The other scales measuring key predictors of ICSM also evidence good reliability. Perceived anonymity had a Cronbach alpha of 0.889 and corrected item total correlation ranging from 0.632 to 0.776. Perceived social support had an alpha of 0.865 and item total correlations from 0.473 to 0.796. Perceived emotional release showed excellent reliability with a Cronbach alphas of 0.903 and item total correlations between 0.66 and 0.859. Perceived audience composition had an alpha of 0.863 and item total correlation from 0.6 to 0.775. Finally, perceived privacy concerns and control has an compressed alpha of 0.891 and item total correlation ranging from 0.671 to 0.789. So next we are going into the second part of the data analysis, which is social demographic. The social demographic characteristics of the sample are summarized in this table. The study sample consisted of 50 total participants, of which 68% were female and 32% were male. This indicates a higher proportion of females compared to male in the sample. In terms of age, the predominant age range was 21 to 23 years, encompassing 84% of 42 of respondents. This aligns with typical undergrad university students who often falls in this age bracket. Smaller proportion of participants were aged 19 to 20 years, which is 10%, and 24 to 25 years in 6%. Regarding race and ethnicity, 42% or 21 of the participants identify as Malay, making this the largest racial group represented. Chinese participants constitute the second largest proportion at 40%, which is 20 of them. Indian participants comprise 12%, which is only 6 of the sample. Additionally, one participant each identified as Sabahan, Sarawakian, and other ethnicity.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Chong Jia Yi with metric number 28545, and I'll continue with the data analysis of correlation. Our Pearson correlation table reveals that individuals' intention to confess on social media is strongly influenced by their desire for emotional release, audience composition, and perceived anonymity. Moderate influences include privacy concerns and control, and also perceived social support. Emotional and social factors significantly drive the sharing of personal information online, despite privacy concerns. Now, looking back to the 5 hypotheses that we made, hypothesis 1A, perceived anonymity positively affects the intention to confess on social media. According to the table, the Pearson correlation between intention to confess on social media and perceived anonymity is 0.654 and is significant at the 0.01 level. The strong positive significant correlation here implies that the greater the perceived anonymity on social media, the greater the intention to confess. Therefore, hypothesis 1A is supported. Our second hypothesis, hypothesis 1B, states that perceived social support positively affects the intention to confess on social media. According to the table, the Pearson correlation between intention to confess on social media and perceived social support is at 0.431 and is significant at the level 0.01. A moderate positive significant correlation suggests that social support is a significant, though less dominant factor in the decision to confess online. It means that those who feel supported are somewhat more inclined to confess on social media. Hence, hypothesis 1B is supported. Moving on to our third hypothesis, hypothesis 1C. Perceived emotional release, catharsis, positively affects the intention to confess on social media. According to the table, the Pearson correlation between intention to confess on social media and perceived emotional release is very high at 0.736 and is significant at the level 0.01. Therefore, this strong positive significant correlation indicates that individuals who seek emotional release through confessions are more likely to use social media for this purpose. It suggests that the cathartic effect is a powerful motivator for sharing personal experiences online. Therefore, hypothesis 1C is supported. Next, we have hypothesis that was constructed based on the diffusion of responsibility theory. We propose that perceived audience composition positively affects the intention to confess on social media. According to the table, the Pearson correlation between intention to confess on social media and perceived audience composition is high at 0.706 and is significant at the 0.01 level. This strong positive significant correlation indicates that the intention to confess on social media is significantly influenced by who people think their audience is on social media. A perceived sympathetic or receptive audience might encourage more openness. Therefore, hypothesis 2A is supported. Moving on to our last hypothesis, hypothesis 2B. Perceived privacy concerns and control positively affects the intention to confess on social media. According to the table, the Pearson correlation between intention to confess on social media and privacy concerns and control is at 0.485 and is significant at the 0.01 level. A moderate, positive significant correlation suggests that while privacy concerns are present, they do not override the intention to confess. This might reflect a nuanced balance between the need of expression and privacy considerations. Hence, hypothesis 2B is supported.
Next, we are going to present the findings and discussion for our study. I will start with the first construct, which is perceived anonymity. Anonymity in online situations promote unrestricted expression. Our findings align with the research done by Suler, as people will feel more liberated in online situations, especially under anonymity situation, which leads to increased self-disclosure or confession on social media sites. Additionally, findings from other studies, such as those done by Ma et al. In 2016 and Zhang Qizel 2014, further verify the significance of anonymity in influencing disclosure behavior. Ma et al.'s identifications of anonymity's ability to encourage increased disclosure across various circumstances align with our study's positive correlation, while Chang Qizel-Zhang's exploration of sharing behavior, particularly the preference for anonymous sharing, reinforce the ideas that individual tends to disclose more when provided the options of anonymity on social media platforms.
Next, our result revealed a moderate positive relationship between perceived social support and online disinhibition with a correlation coefficient of 0.3431. This suggests that perceived social support from one online network contribute to disinhibited behavior such as increased self-disclosure. Prior research support this link between online social support and disinhibition. For example, Webb in 2008 found that the anonymity in online interaction provides social support through a non-judgment environment. Additionally, Schuler in 2004 proposed that the online setting makes it easier for people to reveal their true self and express their feelings. They can find acceptance and support that is lacking offline. Our study aligned with this past finding. Perceived social support online appears to facilitate online distribution. Users gain confidence to open up through interaction with empathetic others. As Kierakowski discussed in 2014, online social support group allowed members to challenge self-stigma and gain meaningful improvement in aspect of mental health. The social support promote disinhibition and candid self-expression. In summary, our results demonstrate a positive correlation between perceived online support and disinhibited behavior. The ability to connect with similar others in an anonymous, non-judgmental environment encourage more open and uninhibited self-disclosure online. This relationship has important implications for the use of online platform in providing social support and reducing this inhibition. Other research can continue to clarify the interplay between these two factors. Thank you.
Our study found that the expectation of emotional release or relief through confessing inner thoughts and feelings online positively predicted user intention to disclose personal details on social media. Specifically, when participants believed expressing emotion would provide a cathartic effect, they were more willing to reveal sensitive information publicly. This aligned with the online disinhibition theory and past research indicating that the prospect of venting feelings to mitigate distress can drive online confession behavior. However, the risk of worsening mental health issues also increases if social media audiences fail to provide adequate empathetic support after negative emotional disclosure. This emotional release motivation appears especially influential during crises like the COVID pandemic, when people use online platforms to express frustration but receive insufficient feedback. Overall, our findings demonstrate anticipating catharsis from sharing intimate details online strongly shapes social media confession intention, but the effects depends on audiences providing validation rather than dismissal.
Next, I'm going to present the findings and discussions on audience composition. Users are more inclined to share intimate details when they perceive their audience as primarily close friends. Our findings are consistent with the findings of Burke and Kraut in 2016. Leung in 2013 supports this, noting that the nuanced user behavior in disclosing to familiar ties over distant ones, due to anticipated support versus potential criticism. These results align with communication privacy management theory, which posits individuals' boundary regulates disclosures based on assessments of risk and benefits. Disclosing to close ties is seen as lower risk. Individuals saw lower risk and greater benefits disclosing to people they know and trust.
Lastly, for the construct privacy concern and control, the research found a moderate positive correlation, which is 0.485, between intention to confess on social media and perceived privacy concerns and control. This indicates a minor positive relationship whereby intention to disclose intimate details online increased slightly as one's perceived control over privacy settings and boundaries increased. However, the weak correlation implies that perceived control is not a key determinant of confession intention on social media. This suggests that other motivational factors such as desire for social connection and belongings likely play a much bigger role in driving intention to confess personal information online, as stated by Nakani and Hoffman in 2012. While frequent disclosure on social media may gain more privacy skills over time, their intention to confess are probably driven more by needs for social belongings than by perceived privacy control, which consistent with the finding of Bazarova and Choi in 2014. This implies motivation for online confessions have more to do with satisfying social and emotional needs. Winiski and others in 2016 support that further research is needed to unpack the nuanced relationship between perceived control and disclosure intention and investigate the context where perceived control enhances versus inhibits social media confession.
In conclusion, anonymity and emotional release are dominant motivation driving users' willingness to confess intimate details publicly on social media platforms. Seeking relief by venting feelings in anonymous contexts disinhibit user and outweighs factors like privacy control in shaping intention to disclose sensitive information online. This finding advanced theoretical understanding of why users embrace the risk of unrestricted online confession, overriding traditional privacy norms. The research provides an empirical foundation for promoting responsible disclosure policies as technology reshapes deeply rooted expectations around sharing private details. The research provides an empirical foundation for promoting responsible disclosure policies as technology reshapes deeply rooted expectations around sharing private details. The research provides an empirical foundation for promoting responsible disclosure policies as technology reshapes deeply rooted expectations around sharing private details.